to was supposed to have been secured by the ground forces. They hadn't gotten a handle on things by the time we got there, so now we were stuck in the middle of a half-assed campaign. My job was to get the planes ready for combat, making repairs and handing them over to our troop of cons. Thing is, the enemy still had the hangars. The comms were still down, so none of us knew what the hell was going on. The last transmission I heard before everything went to shit was that some prisoners from an Osean military penal unit rioted and managed to escape.
Today, I lost everything. When Osea attacked our capital, my father, a man who was never really suited to being the king, was killed. I was to be flown out of the war zone to safety, but the plane was shot down by rebels. The entire crew was killed in the crash. Soldiers appeared and one shot at me. My dog went after him and shot him to pieces. He was my best friend. After all those speeches I gave about working together for peace, I thought everyone felt the same as I did.
How long have you been here?
Somehow, I muster the courage to answer the woman's question. I tell her I've been there 3 days. They gather around me with grim looks on their faces. What would they do if they knew I was the Erusian princess? After searching the cockpit of the plane, the woman who spoke to me before came back to me.
This is an air-to-ground tactical radio.
It still works! I noticed she walked with a limp. She knelt down next to me and asked her companions to give me some food. And then, very softly, she said,
You see, I used to listen to your broadcasts, Your Royal Highness. Just what did you see here?
Hey you, dumbass with the scratches on his tail. You hear me? I need you to help some people. There's a group of refugees surrounded by Erusian tanks right here. Needless to say, their future's not looking too bright.
This is a secure military line. Who is this?
Me? You can call me the Scrap Queen.
Lancaster, she's an ally. Trigger and I'd know that voice anywhere.
That voice. So you're still breathing, Sir Count.
Here, let me have a word. Hey, it's been a while. I had a feeling the two of you were still alive. Remember, stick with Trigger and you'll make it.
We have a bit of intel for you. Share it if you can help those refugees.
Count me in.
That's right.
Echo 13, all hostiles are down.
Understood. This is our last chance. We'll see how far we can go.
We've destroyed all of the targets. All bogies should be ID'd now. Mission complete. Okay, Scrap Queen. Send us the target coordinates.
I was thinking about how I'd do that.
Don't you have a laser target indicator?
Why would she...
Use the smoke canister. And who's taking this to the enemy's doorstep? Not me. Wait, you moron! Wait! What are you doing, dumbass? Here! Attack right here!
Lancaster, we confirmed the location of the flare.
We're gonna find ourselves a boat and leave this island. We'll be taking the refugees, along with any deserters from the Erusian military.
Who's the girl that ran at the tanks with the smoke canister? A few more crazies like her and life down there may have been a tad bit easier.
What do you think would have happened to those refugees if you hadn't intervened? The princess saw what happened. They were little kids.
That's why I like the sky. You don't have to see those types of things.
Does this mean we're that much closer to ending the war?
No, we just basically prevented it from going on forever.
Count's right. We have no choice but to return to our original base. Our base that is nearly out of food and fuel. We need to do something.
Well, both my parents were from Belka, so...
You never told me that. They say that Belkans are known for their conspiracies.
That's just a stereotype. Now, I simply stated my honest opinion and was thrown in jail for it.
The princess sat there looking miserable. That was a dumbass stunt she pulled back there, but it got us on this boat. Take a look at that. This ship is heading for a single rope that's hanging down from the sky. Do you know how far the end of that rope reaches?
Outer space.
No. It is a direct connection to the very potential of mankind itself. Or at least it was until war erupted.
It's my strong belief that the rope might be connected to a very distant, faraway source of great conflict and strife. Even long before the war, the whole world started falling apart once Harling began trying to build it. I often wonder what was going through Harling's mind when he was trying to destroy the very thing that so many people were sacrificed in order to create.
Sacrificed? What do you mean?
Have you seen all of those countless old space shuttles on Tyler Island that are no longer in use?
Yeah. I always thought of them as a good source of scrap. They're an obsolete technology that was abandoned during the construction of the space elevator. Which would mean that if the space elevator was destroyed, it would be that much harder for mankind to reach the stars. Until we find another way.
But even then, Harling still went ahead and tried to destroy it. At the cost of his own life.
That's not the way I heard it. What I heard was that he sacrificed himself to protect the tower from an incoming missile.
Oh, I was told he tried to fly his ship into the tower in order to destroy it.
I wonder which story is true, Your Royal Highness.
I don't know. Looking at it objectively, it's reasonable to believe that Harling had both options before him.
When it comes to which one you think he took, I guess it's like a mirror.
Yes, it is. It's like a mirror looking into your own soul, based on whichever choice you believe it was. At the moment, though, I can only see darkness. I think that thing should be destroyed.
High-speed projectile launch from an aircraft.
I'm testing this aircraft. You must find your own sky.
Strider 1 scored another hit.
He's still flying, but his plane's been damaged. Finish him off, Trigger.
It's a hit. The unidentified aircraft is going down.
He got him. Trigger has splashed a bandit.
Can you hear me? Pilot with the 3 strikes. This was all due to my ego. I unleashed pure chaos upon this world, just so I could keep my wings. Put a stop to the drone production.
Is this a message to Trigger? What does it mean?
I don't think this war is over just because we shot down Mr. X. Yeah, it's gonna take something else entirely to end this thing.
When we got to the mainland, we found the space elevator's support facility. I guess this was the factory where they built the gigantic structure the elevator traveled in. There was this little girl sitting in front of a mural. When the princess saw her, she shuddered like she'd seen a ghost. The girl had a stuffed animal. This was the day after the shit went down at Tyler Island. She walked right up to the princess, took her hand, and led her into the factory. One thing's for sure, they knew each other. The factory'd been converted to a production line for Erusian drones. It was fully automated and chugging along, making drone after drone after drone. Once they got inside, the princess stopped and just stood there. Another girl was there with a man in a lab coat. He was trying to use his keyboard, but she wouldn't let him. She took a data chip and threw it on the ground. Then she walked over to us and took the gun from the prison guard's holster. She pulled the trigger and destroyed the chip. Later, I found out that the girl with the gun and the one with the stuffed animal were sisters. They were also the granddaughters of Mihai A. Shalaji, the legendary pilot. Gramps used to talk about him. He said Mihai was the top ace from 2 wars ago. Know any Belkans? Because this guy was a Belkan, and they love to stir shit up. Pitting nations against other nations is a particular favorite of theirs, along with developing hyper-advanced technology.
That's right. I'm Belkan, born and raised. My country is gone now. Rather than surrender to its enemy, Belka detonated 7 nuclear weapons on its own soil. My people scattered around the globe, living in the shadows of other countries. We had a new purpose: to breed wars. The theory was that through war, we could achieve our destiny and our revenge. I had just finished inputting Mihai's data when his granddaughter came in. She destroyed the only copy I had of the information I squeezed out of him. The girl loved Mihai. No one knew more than her just how hard I pushed her grandfather for that data, how much I made him sacrifice in the process. I promised his granddaughters that his efforts were not in vain, that it could end this terrible war. But in the end, it only caused more chaos and despair. We were responsible for all this damage, all this tragedy. Now, we were going to pay for it. The Erusians, once our allies, would see to that. I had lost the drive to continue my work, even before I noticed Mihai's granddaughters eyeing me with suspicion that one day. I should have stopped then, for all our sakes. Mihai's granddaughter tossed the gun aside. She said if she resorted to killing, she'd just end up like the rest of us. And by us, she meant everyone, including the princess. Like me, the princess was afraid to look into the girl's eyes. She knew that by encouraging her people, she kept the war going. Mihai and his granddaughter were victims of it, and now, they too were paying the price.
Is this for Belka? Or for Erusea? My grandfather had only one wish: to continue soaring through the endless skies. That was the only place where he felt alive. But I don't even have a country to call home, let alone the sky. The Black Forest, the lake, they are no longer mine. Even though those lands were once cherished by my late mother. We have to learn to put that sense of nostalgia behind us and behave like mature adults.
My homeland. She's right. It feels so far away now. The woman with the rifle approached me. She was focused on more pressing issues.
I checked the computer. All of the data on the legendary Ace had already been installed.
No, I pulled it before it was completed. However, there are 2 aircraft that are already scheduled to be manufactured based on that data.
We must destroy the factory.
This isn't the only one. There are more facilities just like it, and the 2 planes containing the data will be manufactured at one of those facilities.
So, this place runs on solar power that the space elevator generates, right? How about the others? We can destroy the space elevator and cut the power to them. First things first, let's take this one out.
I'll show you which locations to target.
I stood there, thinking about that mural by the factory's entrance. Harling commissioned it to be painted. I realized that in the background, behind the dancing figures, the artist had painted several space elevators. I understand now. The space elevator wasn't designed to exploit Erusia after all.
Good. And afterwards, we'll bring down the space elevator itself. No matter why it was built, right now, it's the root of this chaos.
I wonder.
Yes?
I wonder which path you would choose when looking at Harling's mirror.
Let's get the briefing started.
We've done enough air operations. Just let us go home.
There's no path for us to get home. Whatever direction you fly, you'll be right into a hail of enemy fire. Earlier, we received a communication via the partially restored General Network. Here is what it contained. Apparently, the Erusian radicals have gathered around the space elevator, as it's a source of energy. Give the warmongers a powerful energy source, and you give them the luxury to keep on fighting. In response to this, people from both Osea and Erusia have joined forces, and will take down the final Arsenal bird in a saturation attack from the air and sea. Once that's achieved, they'll take the space elevator from the aggressors.
Has the source been verified?
It could be fake. I hear you. Take a look at what's written at the end. Hey, dumbass. If you want to bring the world back from the brink, go to the lighthouse and see the future.
Dumbass? Sounds familiar.
It certainly does. It's from those guys we met in Tyler Island, the 444 Squad. It's a message to all those looking to end the war. I also think it's a message for Trigger.
Guess we'll do what it says.
Okay. Well then, I'm thinking we go roast that damn bird.
Looks like we're all on the same page. It's time to end this war. Time to fly, guys. Let's go get that Arsenal bird.
We need help! Don't let him damage more! Show them what the Erusian, no, what fighter pilots are made of! Thanks, I owe you. No sweat. Get into formation. We have the numbers.
Well, if it isn't the LRSSG, looks like our luck has turned. LRSSG, you will secure air superiority. There are Erusian aircraft in the Coalition, so they have been ID'd as friendly via the data link.
Just confirmed it.
The Erusian government aircraft, including drones, will show up as hostiles. You two aces, I'm thinking it's time to show us what you've got.
We don't have two anymore. Guess nobody told them. That's quite true, Count. It's not just two. Wiseman trained his squad well. Everyone's still in it as an ace. He'd be proud of you all.
To all of you who have gathered here, regardless of your country, this is headquarters of the Osean Army Southern Command. Wait, you forget that designation.
We are a coalition formed exclusively for the sole purpose of taking down the Arsenal Bird. Wait until we're ready to strike the Arsenal Bird in unison. Roger.
What's he doing speaking on an open channel? The enemy can hear everything he's saying. There's no other choice. The Erusian aircraft are in the coalition as well.
This is Skull Squadron and Rigel Squadron of the Erusian Air Force. We're here on our own. Lancaster, we're entering your airspace.
This is Sol 2. Republic of Vassalage are also moving to rendezvous. So they're on squadron, though.
It's Mr. X's crew.
Count, ease up. Engagement is forbidden.
Don't worry, I know. We need every bird we can call upon. Even if they were flying with the guy that killed Wiseman. Some of their squadrons are in weird formations.
They have manned aircraft moving UAVs in slave mode.
All this just to keep a war going.
You focus on controlling a UAV. You lose track of what's going on around you. Right now! Right!
Strider 1 is hit!
How many more do we need to take out?
Shoot them down one at a time. They'll run out eventually. Okay. Commencing transmission. I'm speaking over both terrestrial broadcasting and video transmission networks. It's not important why... No, first, our goals. Destroy the space elevator. Second, we want power to the drone factory cut in order to put a stop to all the war and chaos that its products cause. And last, we want to bring an end to this pointless war that has given rise to a state of anarchy. Let me tell you what's going on right now. The land is overrun with refugees who have lost their homes. This is no isolated incident. In spite of that, the war continues to rage overhead.
I've got a lot. Where's up? 3 strikes on our side? In a long time. Again, 3 strikes? Never again.
The UAVs were sluggish once the leader went down.
I thought his mission. Drones without leaders were Cypress Hill. The biggest hole in their slave mode.
Excuse the rebellion. It's a battle for independence. Take down the Arsenal Bird and build a new country.
Some coalition this has turned out to be, huh? They'll keep talking big once the war's over, too. We can bet on it. We need something or someone to guide us.
Picked up a slave craft.
Strider 1, missile away.
Are the friendly Erusians rebels or what?
They're rebels, but I'm sure it's more complicated than that. Rush up on current events later. Focus on the enemy.
Copy that.
Strider 1, locked on target.
Take a look. See that line continuing above the horizon? The cable goes up to the sky as far as the eye can see. Not many people know this, but the space elevator is the world's tallest transmission tower. In theory, its radio waves cover exactly half the globe. We've jacked up signal in order to reach out to you.
A kill for 3 strikes.
Impressive.
With the communications infrastructure down, this broadcast can only be transmitted to certain regions. If you can access the server, consider yourself lucky. You get to see a real-life princess. Hey, Cosette, say hello to everyone. Yes.
Target is hit.
Admiral, it's safe under X-ray. You can take it down now.
Yes. Let's open up the exit. Everyone get the refugees into the underground tunnel. George, Tabloid?
All right, understood.
Marco's ended.
It's up to us to defend our nation. It doesn't matter if you're in the military or not.
The main Ocean force is to the south, so grit your teeth and fight.
Locked on hostile.
Go around!
Strider 1, missile away. Bandit down.
Pick up the gun. Pulling the trigger is our path to a new future.
Our princess is looking at a mural. There's another one here too. It shows a whole bunch of space elevators. Skies unknown. Huh. Cosette, let's go. Yes!
Warning. Missiles launched from the Arsenal Bird. They're Helios projectiles. All aircraft, stay clear of the blast area. 10 seconds to impact. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Impact.
got caught in that explosion?
Lancaster, do we have more incoming?
Unknown. Proceed with caution.
Wilco. We can't switch off the security system, but we've got this. If what he said is true, this will give us at least 10 seconds. Cosette! Cosette! What the hell's wrong with you? Get back here! As you all saw, we have a problem. The princess went by herself into the maintenance area and has shut us out. No idea what got her going this time. Stupid woman.
Missile launch from the Arsenal bird. Shit, airburst type. Helios arriving in 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2. Helios arrived.
Don't fight so close together. My tail's been shot. I'm bailing out.
I said we were going to take down the space elevator, but it's not like we can just go out there and chop it down. At the top of the windbreak, 6 location markers have been set in place. They monitor distortions in the space elevator. Those are the locations we need to target. If the sensors go bad, the elevator's observation system will think the elevator has fallen. Until its safety can be confirmed, all microwaves will be stopped.
Oh, I get it. What a party.
I was gonna do it myself. You dumbass.
Helios launched from the Arsenal bird. 5 seconds. 3, 2, impact now.
Fuck that. It's all over.
Helios arriving in 10 seconds. 5 seconds to arrival. 2, inbound.
I'm going down.
Come on, control it. It's up to you now.
Seconds remaining.
The monster bird is in our trap. We'll use a saturation attack. Wait for the signal.
I like stuff. Losing speed.
Target acquired.
Inform the coalition units. We're nearing 0 hour. 10 seconds until the united attack on the Arsenal bird.
Incoming!
5, 4. Everybody, give this attack everything you've got.
Open fire!
All missiles were shot out of the sky. Attack failed. Cruise missiles did not reach their target.
Damn monster.
Lancaster warning all aircraft. I have multiple blips on my scope.
Here they come.
That's something.
Hey, look at the Arsenal bird.
Lasers!
Missile destroyer ship Drake and Marker sunk. We can't train it. Evacuate! Flagship Starlink heavily damaged by laser weapons. The warship captured aircraft controller melting. Single blast! Deploy lifeboats.
HQ, we have a problem. The damage to the Allied fleet is extensive.
That's some pretty impressive firepower. I, for one, did not see that coming.
The active protection system operated as expected. We should launch another saturation attack. Air power. You'll slow the Arsenal bird.
Landed on a friendly's tail.
Target acquired.
Target is right in front of me.
Look at that light from the Arsenal bird.
UAV confirmed destroyed. It's readying its APS. All aircraft, break off from the Arsenal bird.
That was close. Saw the AWACS. I was in a corner.
That's not the control room. Go through the airlock and get on the maintenance elevator. Head to the top of the windbreak. Do you think you can put on that pressurized suit by yourself? You'll never get it on over those frills. Yes.
I'm getting sick of that arrogant bastard, seriously.
No good. The engine control room is gone.
Add water to the oxygen.
There's a radar room here at the
Okay, focus. Nothing phases this thing. Where are we supposed to hit it? I'm behind my target.
All aircraft. We can no longer commence with the second saturation attack. All aircraft, separately engage in direct attacks.
HQ, it won't be easy to take down the Oslo bird with conventional weaponry. All the ace pilots in the world won't save us unless we have a plan.
Give us time. We'll see what we can do.
You're just thinking about it now? Cover any friendlies, it's hit. Trigger 1, enemy on your back. Caution. Missile inbound, evade! They dodged it.
On my target's back. Time to punch through.
Main propeller 1 confirmed stall. Good work, Trigger. Keep up the attack. He's readying its APS.
Damn it! I've taken some damage. One aircraft hit. No, two!
I can see a light bulb shape thing, but it doesn't light up. That's it. That's the location marker. You have it from there, right? Got it.
Is there something we can do? Just evading like this will get us all killed.
Don't let the enemy sniff your blood.
Missile inbound, evade!
Missile away.
When's that shield gonna lose power? Never. Elevators continuously supplying you with power.
Then what should we do?
Calm down. I'll do something.
What are you gonna do? Corvette? Smash it. Smash all 6 of the bastards. It'll lose power.
Damn shield. Just go away. Be gone. Disappear.
On cuckoo count?
Away with you.
Just what kind of magic did you work there, you asshole?
It wasn't magic. It's a scam. Now's our chance. Do it, Trigger.
The lights. It switched to the backup power supply. That means the main supply's been cut off.
Both main propellers have been stalled.
This is the observation center. And we received lost markers on top of the windbreak.
UAVs are dropping altitude fast. Wait, they're down!
The drones are acting crazy. Have you seen this? The drones are falling one after another. They've completely lost control.
Sub-propeller confirmed destroyed. Main propeller 1 confirmed stall. Good work, Trigger. Keep up the attack.
Let's try the one-hand
laser cannon destroyed. That drops the Arsenal Bird's threat level a little.
All up to Strider 1.
Both main propellers have been stalled.
There's a hit on the laser cannon. Trigger's hammering it.
Get behind 3 strikes.
Laser cannon confirmed destroyed. That eliminates one major threat.
Thanks. That thing almost cooked my tail.
Follow 3 strikes. We Erusian pilots should know better than anybody that that's the right call.
Trigger got a sub-propeller. You're getting the hang of this, Trigger.
If you die, go look after your family.
The main propeller is moving again. Just how hard is that thing?
It's down to destroying the Rectenna's base.
Say what?
If we destroy the docking modules, the supply unit will break off at Arsenal Bird. That'll leave the Rectenna base vulnerable. Light her on fire and we can cook that bird whole. Theoretically, that may prove impossible for an experienced pilot. That would be a problem, Whit.
Yeah, but our guy's more than just an experienced pilot.
Trigger, let's do this.
Is he really that good of a pilot? I'd bet on it. Besides, if he thought it was impossible, he wouldn't have said anything.
Watch out! The drones are falling! Jeez. Everyone calm down. You want to get yourself killed? George? Tabloid! Get back here! I can't leave that girl to die. Fine, fine! Get her, but be quick about it!
Is everything okay? The drones are acting odd.
Run! Run! Careful!
Docking module destroyed. That's 2 of them.
Don't let yourself be distracted. Just focus on what you need to do.
Is everything okay?
Cosette, some people were crushed. But the kid Tabloid went after is safe. He's airline distance with a girl in his hands.
Good. What about Tabloid? Is he safe?
George and the girl were saved. They were saved.
All targets have been destroyed. The supply unit is ready to fall off.
Yeah! Good job.
You should be able to see the Rectenna where the supply unit was. Destroy that, and even the mighty Arsenal Bird is sure to feel it.
Good luck.
Leave it to Trigger.
Don't let us down, Strider 1. Clear a path for Strider 1.
Leave the big fish to Trigger. We'll take down the UAVs.
We're counting on you.
Locked on Bandit.
This'll hit.
We got these things, no problem.
Got this one's ass in my sights.
Don't worry about backing up Strider 1. Just try to stay out of his way.
That thing is too huge! Don't let its sheer size freak you out.
Ready to fire. So 2, Fox 2.
Go, Trigger. Leave these chumps to us.
I've got this one's ass in my sights.
The ground forces efforts will be for nothing. We have to take down the target by any means.
Strider 2, Fox 2.
You're too far out.
Strider 1, Fox 2.
Keep the UAVs company.
I've got you. Locked on, Bandit.
Fox 2.
Fox 2.
Strider 1, target acquired.
Locked on.
In gun range.
So 2, Fox 2. I've got this one.
Watch your remaining missiles. Lieutenant, makes you to confirm destroyed.
Lancaster. Oh my god. The arsenal burns on fire.
Trigger, break off. Arsenal burn is losing altitude rapidly.
Arsenal burn is down.
Lancaster, can you estimate the point of impact?
Don't worry, looks like it'll be open water. All aircraft, avoid the target's path.
That's the last of the rooms. Even in death, that thing is intimidating.
Everyone, can you see this? These people here were alive up until a few moments ago. My friend was here. Can you see this? This is just one of the many sides of war and what it does.
All Illusions focus around the space elevator. Surrender now. We will not attack. We can hold them off until support arrives. Urgently surrender. You guys better not throw away turbines.
Wait there, Princess. We'll get you down.
Don't worry about me. Please just take care of the refugees. I'll parachute down. What?
Warning, incoming bogey.
Are those the drones we saw at that factory?
I'm coming down. I'll see you on the ground.
No, wait!
Enemy on my 6! Those guys are bad news. Trigger, boss, do something!
Strider 2, missile inbound! Cosette! What?
This isn't the time for that!
Cosette!
Avril, they're headed this way. Get the refugees to safety now.
Strider 2, you're hit. Are you alright?
Still breathing. I won't be flying much longer, though.
There's an Osean carrier a few kilometers to the west. It ran aground and was abandoned. It won't be easy, but it's the only place you got.
Trigger, escort your wingman. Let's get to that carrier. That's all we can do. Trigger, can you hear me? I somehow managed to land. It's your turn now. The carrier ran aground, but that shouldn't be a problem for you. I'll guide you down. 3,000 meters to carrier. You're too fast. Lower your speed. You're on course. Looking good, buddy. $1,500 meters to carrier. Let's clear up the deck for the other aircraft. Well, we're okay for the moment. Now the real challenge begins.